Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the GGB Supplier Showcase. As always, I'm your host, Jess Marquez, and I'm so pleased to be joined this afternoon by Steve Ritchie, Chief Revenue Officer for our longtime friends over at Pavilion Payments. Steve, how are you doing today?
I am doing really well. Spring has hit Las Vegas. I'm loving the weather and having some really good times working on some cool projects here at the company.
Obviously, like we said, you guys over at Pavilion Payments are longtime friends of the show. Always love talking to you guys. And the word of today, or maybe rather the word of the month, year,
Yeah.
decade, whatever, is omnichannel. That's been a huge topic around the entire industry, especially with
Mhm.
regards to the payment sector, of which you guys are steeply in the middle of. So I guess kind of just sometimes I think we as an industry, whatever the current themes are, whatever the current topics, definitions can kind of change, right? And
Mhm.
so like the introduction of one thing may not mean the same thing years later, and so on and so forth. So omni-channel has kind of been on the tips of everyone's mouth for a little while now. So just kind of as a starting off point, how do you guys over at Pavilion kind of describe or define the concept of omni-channel in this moment in time as it relates to the industry at large?
Sure. The way we see it in our industry and with the gaming industry is that omnichannel simply means there's multiple ways to serve the patron, and that the patron can have an integrated, smooth, and very enjoyable experience that's online, offline, brick in the casino proper, away from the casino, in a way that really reflects what's happening in a lot of other industries. And that it really has to be all patron centric, and it's about the integration of those experiences across online, offline channels, not just the strict divisions that may have existed historically.
Well, and that's interesting because, you guys in the payment sector, I love talking to you guys specifically because, as we were talking about off air, you guys are probably have some of the most, diverse and broad scope of things because obviously you deal with many different industries outside of gaming, and you kind of have a feel, I feel like, for more of the general consumer rather than just like the
Mhm.
hardcore better. And that's really been a theme of the payment revolution is like, people want to see the same options, the same flexibility as they get, in other industries such as retail and other things like that. In terms of gaming, obviously, the integration between both sides has been a really big topic. It's a very heated topic. There's many people make their living on, researching, which side is, necessarily benefits more than the other. But in my opinion, given that the land-based side is obviously the incumbent and is,
Mhm.
needing to diversify into the online space, what do you think those businesses can learn about incorporating, more of the online strategies to boost payment volumes and subsequently revenues?
Right. I think the key word is seamlessness. That patrons look. I've said in many other companies I've worked with, we're all spoiled by Apple, Amazon, and Google. Even if it has nothing to do with the industry we're dealing with, that has become our consumer expectation. So I use companies that are truly leading edge as my inspiration. How can the patron be able to have the best experience both in the brick and mortar casino or on online that is consistent with the kind of seamlessness they're used to in their everyday life? Of course, there are complexities we have to deal with. You have to deal with the regulated environment. We have to do the right thing by all the rules of the road. We also have to be careful and be very cognizant of responsible gaming. But all that being said, I think when it's done right, the opportunity here is to give the patron a unique level of delight where the kinds of experiences they deal with in every day, going from online to offline and back and forth, really are as easy as they are anywhere else. And then they can even see the benefit and frankly have more time focused on having fun and less time focused on how they're going to get money moved from place to place.
Certainly, certainly. And so, kind of to turn the focus directly onto you guys, you and your team who work tirelessly to kind of solve these challenges. Simply put, what is Pavilion's role in facilitating these integrations and kind of clearing these hurdles?
Sure. So our mission is absolutely to keep optimizing our fully 360-degree integration of payments, being the only true provider of end-to-end solutions in the payment space and gaming that can really control our own destiny. We control it all. We control the disbursement. We control the deposits. We control the risk underwriting. We control the data flows. And by doing that, we're able to control our own destiny and customize the experience for the best betterment of the patron and the betterment of the operator. So really, I think, provide creative solutions without having to string together lots of disparate parties with disparate objectives and come up with something that could truly move the industry forward. It makes it a lot of fun. Is it challenging sometimes? Sure. But that's because we're trying to do new things and exciting things, and not just trying to keep the same old patterns that have been in this industry and frankly, many other industries for decades.
Definitely. And I would say also too, on a conversational note, I am just now, I would say, getting comfortable, completely comfortable with the Pavilion Payments brand. And I still, for a while there, I was
Yeah.
still making some slips with the global payments. But obviously, you guys are well into that brand reintroduction by now. So I'm sure that helps things as well, because obviously recognition is key. Um, One thing I wanted to touch on, so you guys will obviously be exploring these topics more in depth in next month's Indian Gaming Trade Show and Convention,
Yes.
which is coming up in a few weeks. I have kind of a two-parter here for you.
Okay.
Um, One relates to obviously just the show itself. So I would say, just kind of what are your guys' goals, expectations for the show itself, and then more broadly, the tribal industry at large obviously is such a giant in today's gaming ecosystem and is only
Mhm.
continuing to grow larger. We actually just finished our tribal gaming issue, where that was all the entire topic of it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess those two parts. So the show itself, and then also the opportunities that arise from the tribal industry as a whole.
Sure. Well, we are obviously very excited about the upcoming IGA show, and we're very much looking forward to meeting many of the business leaders and tribal leaders who will be in attendance. Look, it is a fundamental foundation of our business is supporting and helping these operations thrive to both support their business themselves, but the communities that they support. And because of that, we are really able to come up with, as I said, solutions that fit the unique needs of each individual tribal environment. Our mobility solution is very good for the cashless solutions that we find many tribal casinos see as a higher priority than even some of the commercial casinos. We're able to adapt and adjust our priorities, focus on what they're after, and help them really achieve their needs. So I think we're going to be spending a lot of time. Yes, I think the brand has come a long way, but Global's a big brand, was around a long time. We're going to be spending more and more time just making sure everyone there knows who we are and gets just as excited as we are about what we think we can do to help them and help their businesses thrive even above and beyond where they already are.
Well, and that's, I would definitely, just to piggyback off that, I think one of the themes of the tribal industry is that, the emphasis on patron experience is really elevated to a new level. And it doesn't surprise me at all to hear you say that, it's even maybe a higher priority than the commercial side of things because they just value it that much, or they have such a high value on that side of things.
Absolutely.
Um, so I want to wrap up. This has been really great. Thank you again for coming on. I have just
Mhm.
one. I want to have a little bit of fun here at the end. So this year's edition will be in beautiful Anaheim, California, which is great for me selfishly because I can just get in my truck and drive to a show for once. I don't even have to go to an airport, which is very nice. Um, but obviously, Anaheim, as everyone around the world knows, is the Disney capital of the U.S.
It is.
If you guys could characterize you and the Pavilion team as a Disney character, who do you think that would be?
I think if I looked at the company that I'm privileged to work with, took a little work, because there are days it feels like Donald Duck around here. But I think the better answer is definitely Lightning McQueen from Cars. We are moving fast. We are committed to winning. We look kind of slick and look cool with that racing gear on, and we're committed to be that character that really races and wins and wins it all. But you still root for him every step of the way.
That's it. Yeah, that's great. That's really awesome. And it's even funnier to me personally the fact that I had Donald Duck written down for myself in the case that I
Uh,
was going to answer that. So
I think we all have a few of those moments, and if we don't say it, we're not being honest with ourselves, right?
that's correct. Well, Steve, this has been really great. I will definitely be excited to see you guys, all that Pavilion has to offer at the upcoming IGA show and beyond. Of course, any of our viewers who would like to learn more, please visit pavilionpayments.com. And, Steve, it was great to have you again.
Hey, I really appreciate the opportunity, and I do look forward to meeting a lot of your viewers at IGA 2024, introduce myself, and introduce all the cool things we're doing here at Pavilion.
Thank you for joining us for the GGB Gaming Supplier Showcase, our exclusive look at the best products and services produced by vendors for the gaming, iGaming, and sports betting industries. For more information about the GGB Supplier Showcase, contact Terry Brady at tbrady@ggbmagazine.com.